profit, muscle.
But the man has proof. He has proof that happened.
That's cool. They ain't got. See, people try to intertwine bullshit with real shit to try to contaminate the real shit or try to discredit the real. It ain't never gonna happen for the real ones who know. Now it'll happen with the trolls and the people who don't know no better and things of that nature. But when they come down to contaminating real amongst the guys, the real guys, city to state, who really in tune, the shit be happening, who really a part of that.
At the end of the video, Prince is talking about Ye's mindset, Kanye.
Like you never can contaminate nothing that's silent. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never got to fear some bullshit contaminating our legacy. Except for when it come down to trolls or people who don't know and they don't even matter. Like majority of the people with an opinion ain't got no money. And they ain't got no opinion that matters because they not in the industry or nothing like that. Like their opinion is just from sideline view. They
Understood.
on the sideline. You do what I'm saying? So their opinion really don't even matter. It doesn't matter even more so because they had no idea what's really transpiring.
Understood.
They ain't in the loop. And you understand this now, you being in the industry.
Okay, so you're saying there's two different levels?
I'm telling you, it's two different things. It's two different things from being a celebrity and being in tune to the streets for real.
Got you.
I'm giving you the two different perspectives.
Understood.
So I'm trying to make you differentiate the two to where celebrity shit ain't got nothing to do with the respect that come down here. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of niggas with more power. I mean, not more power, but more influence or more money than us when it come down to being a celebrity. But they ain't got the respect that we got, so they can't move how we move.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to know how to differentiate the two. Respect and notoriety.
Understood. I have another question for you. What do you feel about checking in? That whole checking in theory. What is your opinion on checking in?
People at the end of the day, people get checking in misconstrued. When we say checking in, and we don't need to tell niggas to check in. We don't tell niggas to check in. What I say is when I go to another nigga city and I got respect for certain niggas, I reach out to them. Majority of the time it's because I got a relationship with them already. But even if I don't have a relationship with them already, instead of me being who I am and standing for what we stand for, instead of me going to another nigga city and bumping heads with them and end up having to go to war, I'd rather reach out to them or to a representative of their camp and be like, hey man, y'all open the doors for us out here. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't say y'all open the doors for us out here, then we might end up being in the same situation. Both of us have big heads. Both of us stand for what we stand for, and we just so happen to get into it with somebody in their clique. You know what I'm saying? Now we just started a whole war instead of just reaching a hand out to a nigga environment. When we in the nigga environment and being like, hey man, we out here, y'all show us y'all city. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to have no problems with y'all.
But do you think
not that we scared of having problems with y'all, because we ain't scared of having problems. It's just we trying to avoid them. So if we can avoid a problem and gain access to a lot because y'all already got y'all city on smash, then why not reach out to the individual and try to get that same love that they get? You do what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, relationships are worth more than money. Relationships worth more than money. It can be niggas with a bunch more money than us. And you know this now, nigga. It's niggas who got a bunch more money than you. But you got the relationships with the right people. They can't move with them people the way you move with them.
That's a fact. Yeah.
They can't move with them the way you move with them because you have relationships. So I'm all about creating relationships and even relationships that we don't have. So if I go to a city and I'm in tune that these niggas running that city, I'm gonna send one of my guys or I'm gonna send a message like, hey man, I want to meet these dudes. I'm not gonna create a problem with them unless they create a problem with me. I'm gonna extend my hand. I'm gonna extend my hand and be like, hey man, I want to meet these guys. Y'all line us up, see if we can benefit one another. You do what I'm saying? I'm
Okay.
in their city. I'm gonna see if they can introduce me to their city because this they city, and I'll do the same in return. And it ain't no telling what our relationships can take us because I got the relationships they might have the relationships. So it ain't no telling what our relationships can take us. Dude, that's the movement of
But I
Martyrs.
think the problem is that people, use the word check in and use it in a negative annotation. So that's why it's looked at like that.
A negative
You got
connotation. A negative
co-
connotation. And then
connotation. You say something aggressive like you gotta check in.
I mean,
Somebody's gonna
that's
feel.
cool. That's cool. You keep on saying that. I ain't never said it.
No, not you. I'm not talking. I'm giving you an example. I'm not saying
I
you.
understand it, but you're using the example towards me. Therefore, it's exemplified like I use that example too. You
You
get what
didn't
I'm
use the
saying? So I want
example.
to, I want to make sure, that everybody who knows, everybody who's having a conversation with us or listening to this conversation with us right now,
Okay.
know that you're not talking or exemplifying any words that I've said. Ain't nobody said that nobody got to check in. But when you use that connotation, people are taking it as their derivative. Like, hey, man, this said that before. You
Now
get what
you
I'm
didn't
saying?
say that. I never
So
heard you say.
I ain't saying
I
none of
well
that.
let me correct it. I never heard you say it.
You ain't
But
heard none of my family say it. Say
I
that
never
part.
heard none of your family say it. Right? I never heard. What you saying? I like. What's up with you, man? Why you so aggressive, bro?
I just want to make sure that it's more important than any one man life is order, my brother. You do what I'm
And I
saying?
hear you, but
I live and die by that.
me
More
too.
important than any one man life is order. You did. So I just want to make sure that you ain't sending the wrong messages
I'm
out
not
there.
trying to send the wrong message, but
But you will do it unintentionally.
my opinion, not based off you or anybody in your camp saying it. My opinion from hearing others say it is that the way they say it, the way they put it, makes people not want to do it because of our egos.
Righteous.
Egos is a hell of a thing. Our egos would allow us to get in drama and stuff like that. So if somebody says you got to check in, our ego is a man. I'm not checking it nowhere, man. I can travel. That's how it goes. That's how people think.
I mean,
So I
there's
want
there's niggas without relationships and niggas who don't understand the street, and they take that checking in word worse than what it actually is. You dig what I'm saying? Somebody tell me that, I say the same thing. Checking in to nobody, but I will reach out to the niggas I know I need to reach out to because I expect them to do it when they touch my land. So it's like having that mutual understanding. You dig what I'm saying? When you go
understood.
on city to city, state to state, and you know these niggas really run their land, then you need to reach out to them. And I say that to all my brothers. Like, I say this on a boss behalf, so you won't end up creating problems that you can avoid. You do what I'm saying? If you a boss
Understand.
and you know these other bosses in a city, reach out to the bosses, unite the bosses, and avoid problems. Because if you in the club and you end up getting into it with these other who run a city, now you got a whole war situation where y'all might have to kill each other when y'all just could have reached out to each other, had the mutual respect because y'all probably both would have respected each other. You know what I'm saying? And avoided a bunch of problems and bull. So it's about putting your ego to the side and putting business on the table. Because you never know how much money y'all can get together rather than putting your ego on the table and having to deal with a bunch of bull. Did what I'm saying? They were Martyrs is. You know what Martyrs is, nigga?
Nah, teach me.
Movement of bosses together in elevated structure. City, state to state. Movement of bosses together in elevated structure. We ain't talking about dummies. But you know how much more money we can get if we connect our dots. It's a bunch of niggas with dots. Man, them dots don't mean nothing, man. Them Jews, they connect their dots and they been running for a long time. If black folk can get that same mentality and learn how to utilize each other instead of competing with one another, learn how to utilize each other instead of high-siding one another and all that type of nigga can be so much bigger and better than what we are.
Ye is saying the exact same thing we need to build together as a community. That's why I created that word kinga, which has a positive connotation.
When it come down to being silent, well, not necessarily silent because there's a bunch of squares that just don't know no better. And I give them type of is a pass. You deal what I'm saying? Because I know they squares, so they can do whatever they want to do, and I won't have no judgment about them. But
Your pops is official. Where you from?
right.
You know, a lot of people respect him, right? Did you, and this is with all due respect, did you have to go down that path because of who he is? To, you know, or you had, like, did you have to, because, you know, obviously, you know, they respect him, you know, he make things happen.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying, like, obviously,
Nah, I understand
your own man, but did you have
I,
to go down that
I,
path in order
I
to?
understand. I understand your question fully. So let me answer.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I'm junior.
Okay.
Therefore, I witnessed the transition from nothing to something.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I was there when we were staying in a 1-bedroom apartment. Me, his fiance at the time, me, my sister. I was there when we was in a 1-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? 4, 5 people in a 1-bedroom apartment. To when we moved into a 3-bedroom house, to when we moved into a 5-bedroom house, to when we moved into a 9-bedroom house. So to answer your question, I was there for the transition of nothing to something. You get
Got
what
it.
I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was there from nothing to something. Did so, and me being the first boy, you know, I was on his hip. I'm junior, so I was raised more so up under his image than anybody else was.
Understood.
And then I witnessed that transition. Like a bunch of people think that I grew up and when I was born I was rich already. Nah, that ain't how this transpired. Like, that ain't how it transpired. I witnessed from going from nothing to something. I witnessed this. I was a part of this. Now when it come down to the streets, I'm gonna give you a different perspective. And I ain't gave this to nobody, so this is exclusive for you. You dig what I'm saying? Now I felt like personally, me being a man, I feel like my old man had that respect in our city. But me coming up under him and having his influence, you dig what I'm saying? And being up under him, I felt like I wanted to create a name for myself. Like anytime a nigga introduced me as, hey man, this J Prince son, I'd be like, nah, nigga, J Prince Jr. Like, that's just mine. That's just how it was. You dig what I'm saying? I went out my way to create mob ties.
Well, me, Prophet Muscle, the son of God and the son of Roger Mayweather, created that word kinga, so we have a positive connotation in our community. Kingas, we all descendant of righteous kings, God, to replace that negative word that we use. Let's spread positive energy with that word kinga in our community. And I will change the word with kinga, so we're gonna replace it with the negative word. Believe that. Get with the movement.
That I knew you, and I had a chance to know you. And since I had a chance to know you, I see what kind of good person you were. Boom, that was it.
I love you to death, and I will always love you, my father, because you didn't see what I had, you see what was deep in my heart.
Roger, tell these mother subscribe to the Prophet channel.
Oh, they got you.